Hi students, in this video we'll discuss HDFS user commands. We'll start with the format command. This format command is used to format the configured HDFS file system. You can format the configured file system using format command, that is Hadoop name node -format. Then you can start a new HDFS file system. To start a new HDFS file system, the command is start-dfs.sh, and this ls command is used to list all the files and directories in my Hadoop file system. And if I want to insert file from local system into HDFS, these are the following commands. First, you can create a directory using mkdir command. Then use the put command to store the file from the local system to the Hadoop distributor file system. Here put command Hadoop fs -put. You are putting the file from local system to the Hadoop distributor file system. After putting this file into Hadoop distributor file system, you can use the ls command and you can list all the files in your Hadoop and you can check it. And this stop command is used to shut down the HDFS. And to get a help regarding any command, you can use this help command Hadoop fs -help, and the command name will give you this help option for the given command. And next is this ls command. As you know, this ls command will list all the files and directories, and if I use Hadoop HDFS DFS -ls, and if I use this slash, it will list all the files and directories in your root directory. This slash indicates root directory, and these are the list of files in your root directory. And the first is file type and file permission. The first attribute is file type and file permission, number of links, owner of the file, group of the file, size of the file, last modification date and time, and at last the name of the file or directory. These are the attributes of your list command, and we can discuss each and every attribute. As I said, the first attribute is file type and file permission. If you take this first attribute, there are 10 parameters. Out of this 10 parameter, the first parameter is file type, and the remaining 9 parameters are file permission. File type and file permission. If the first parameter, if it indicates D, it is a directory. If it is a file, nothing will be there, just a hyphen will be given. Here in this example, all are directories, so the first field is D. If the first field is D, you can understand the file type is directory. If it is hyphen in the first field, it indicates it's an ordinary file. And the remaining 9 fields are file permission. And file permission will be read, write and execute. And you have this 9 fields. This 9 is divided into 3. Right, first 3 for user. User is nothing but the owner of the file. Next 3 is for the permission for the group to which the file belongs to, and the last 3 is for the file permission for the world or others or public. Right, so you can take the first one, first 3 or WX. So the user of the file, that is the owner of the file, has read permission, write permission and execute permission. Similarly, here for this file, the group also has read, write and execute permission, and here the public also has read and write, execute permission. Take the second one, it is a directory, as the first field is D, and next is read, write, execute permission for the user of the file, that is the owner of the file, and read and execute permission for the group. Read and execute permission for the group. No write permission. Right, no write permission, so it is given as hyphen. Here also no write permission for the public. They can read and they can execute. That's all. And the next is number of links to this file or directory. And here the next one, the owner of the file and the group to which the file belongs to, the size of the file, last modification date and time, and at last the file name. These are the attributes of your ls command. Next is -lsr. Recursively displays the entries in all the subdirectories along the path. And this -du will give you a summary of the disk usage in bytes. And dus prints the summary of the disk usage. This will give you the disk usage in bytes, and this will print the summary of the disk usage in bytes, -dus. And -mb is a move command. It moves the file from the source to the destination. -mb is the move command which moves the file from source to destination. And next is copy command. Copies the file from the source to destination. And -rm is the remove command which removes the file or which deletes the file. And -rmr removes recursively. Right? It removes the file recursively in the sense it removes the subdirectories along the path. And -put command, this we have seen already. That is, put command is used to move the file from the local system to the HDFS file system. Move command moves the file from the local system to Hadoop distributed file system. Similarly, move from local. Right, it is also used to move the file from the local system to the HDFS. And this get command, -get command is used to get or move the file from HDFS to local system, just the reverse of put command. And this -cat command is used to display the contents in the screen. It's used to display the contents in the screen. And -set replication. It is used to set the replication factor for maintaining multiple copies. Next is -touch set. Is used to create a file at path containing the current time as timestamp. And next is -tail command. This tail command is used to display from the it is used to display from the last line of a file. Suppose if you want to display the last 10 lines, you can use -tail and you can specify 10 or 20. If you want last 20 lines, you can specify the count. Similarly, if you want to read from the beginning of a file, you can use -head. -head is used to read from the beginning of a file, and -tail is used to read from the end of the file. And this -stat command, stat command, prints the information about path, file name, block size, replication, modification date, everything. And -chmod, right? Change mode. Change mode command is used to change the file permission. It's used to change the file permission. This change mode command will take an octal value along with it. Suppose if it is 777, 7, when I put it in octal form, it is 111. So read, write and execute permission is given for user. Suppose the next 7 indicate the group and the last 7 it indicates the public. Suppose if it is 755, 5, when I put it in octal value, it is 101. So read and execute permission is given for group and no write permission, 101. Similarly, if it is 755, the last 5 also indicates it is 101. Read and execute permission for the public, and only read, write, execute permission for the group. Change own command is used to change the owner, and change group is used to change the